Good morning. We have got a tongue twister for you today. We're having some Beer Braised Bear, and I'm saying that slow on purpose because it's kind of hard to say. We did just get back from Alaska, and we did just get back from hunting bear, but this is not Alaska bear. This is actually Wyoming bear, which is a whole nother story, a whole nother video that's going to be coming real soon, so make sure you're looking out for that one. Just got off the phone with Chef Albert. He put this together for us really quick, and like I said, we're doing a Beer Braised Bear, which is a sirloin. We're going to get started right away. I've got to render some bacon, so I'm going to throw that in the pan over there. We'll come back and I'll tell you about all the rest of the ingredients that we've got. Smells like bacon. So we're just getting all the silver skin off. And what you're going to see, especially on this sirloin, there's going to be sinew down in between. But with a braising method, which is what you do for a roast, you'll end up dissolving all of that, which is what's going to make the meat tender. But I'm still getting all this off of the outside to begin with. So one of the rules when you're cooking bacon, don't forget about it. We're just doing this for the fat anyway. What we're doing is creating fat, rendering the fat to cook the roast in. So we've got typical vegetables that you put in with a roast, and you need to do a large dice, or I'm just slicing these. You think about what it looks like whenever you put it on a serving platter and what it's going to be like. I like doing it this way. For this particular recipe, it's a cup of everything, which is just going to be your onions, carrots, potatoes, and sweet potatoes. When I say potatoes, red potatoes, and then a yam, sweet potato, whatever you call them from the area that you're in. We're going to dice all those up. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're going to do with vegetables. We're going to dice them up and we're going to put them in with the roast. So what we've got here is Eddie's favorite. We've got sweet potatoes. We're gonna put a little extra in just for him. No. Because he really likes them. All right, so next is our seasoning. You've got 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, and then everything else is 1 teaspoon black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and caraway seeds. And so I've got all those mixed in there. And we're going to dust the roast with that. All right. Just an FYI, obviously this recipe or the video portion is on YouTube, but the regular recipe, just to be able to read instructions, print it off, whatever you want to do, will be on fromfieldtotable.com, so make sure you check that part out too. All right. All right, so the reason that we cooked the bacon is so that we could render the fat. It's supposed to be about 1/4 cup, and we may be just a little shy of that. You can see, you can kind of move it around in there. I don't think we've got quite 1/4 cup. So we're just going to add some olive oil from our friends at Montana Mex. We'll let that heat up, get good and hot. Then we're going to grab the roast, put it in here, get a good sear on it. We'll start adding the vegetables and the onions first. Let them get translucent. We'll add the other vegetables. We'll add the gravy, add the rest of the seasoning, and then it's just going to go in the oven for about another 2 hours. We'll keep an eye on it until it's good and tender and falling apart. All right, so we have got that getting hot. You can see it smoking a little bit. Hear that? So we're just gonna sear both sides of each roast. I'll also do one at a time here. I actually learned this in elk camp with Chef Wutsch, one of the very first trips that we did together in New Mexico. And he did a very similar dish with an elk shoulder clod. I have a feeling this is going to be a favorite. That roast just looks outstanding. So thanks for sharing, Eddie. This should be an Alaska bear recipe, but like I said, it's a whole nother story. I'll give you just a little bit of a preview. We had about 90 pounds of bear meat, and we got back from a processor that we used 17 pounds of salami. So I don't know, my algebra's not real good, but I'm pretty sure that's bad math. Look at this, look at that. Would you look at that?
Just look at it.
Just look at it. So that's what we want. That's what we want right there. Got that good sear. So we'll get that sear on both sides, then we'll turn this back down. We'll throw the onions in, let them get translucent, and then we'll add the other vegetables. That is gonna smell good itself. Our onions are now translucent, nice and clear, so we're just gonna add in the rest of our vegetables. So carrots, sweet potatoes, and red potatoes. Those are all going in. I had some leftover spices, so let's just go ahead and put all that in. So this is half a cup of flour and a quarter cup of brown sugar. So we're gonna use that for kind of a roux.
Oven's ready.
The oven is ready. That sweetness from that brown sugar is going to go really, really good with that bear, with the bear. So we're going to try to get all that worked down into that grease or that bacon fat. We're going to add just a couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire.
Worcester what?
Worcestershire. Worcestershire.
You said this was.
That should be.
You said this was Beer Braised Bear. When does the beer come into play?
You gotta save the best for last, and not just any bear beer, any beer. It's moose drool beer. And guess what? We got this in Wyoming right before we went up to bear camp.
You did?
Yeah. So from Wyoming, it's a brown ale from. It says Missoula, Montana, but we bought it in Wyoming. So that goes in. And that is not
a twist off.
That is not a twist off. So I'm gonna tear up my fingers.
Big bottle opener.
See there? Well, go big or go home. That's going in here.
Oh yeah.
May need a couple of bottles of that. I don't know.
A couple more? One for me, one for you?
Yeah, right?
Wait.
That is AM, by the way. We had to start early. We've got a lot to do today, and this has to go in the oven for probably a couple of hours. So yeah, no beer yet. We've got to go to the gym yet too, so. All right, so we've got those in. This will actually start to cook down. We'll keep an eye on it if, oops, Duke. If it starts to dry out, we'll just add more moisture to it, add some more. Oh, I'm not done yet. So, one of the things that somebody actually called us out on this on a recipe that we did before. You're just using gravy from a jar. Yeah, you don't always have to make everything homemade. Yeah, it's nice. I'm not a chef. I'm busy. You're busy. Go to the store, buy a jar. It's no big deal. So this actually goes in here too. Even Mrs. Ray was giving me a hard time. You're just gonna leave that in the jar and she's gonna pour it in a dish or something? It's like, man, we're keeping it real. Us and Heinz, we're keeping it real.
You're a nerd.
Dad jokes, man, dad jokes. Eddie loves my dad jokes. Now we're cooking with gas, literally. And I'm not talking about the stove. You should be here with Eddie right now. There's a dog behind you. He mad. All right, one more time. The lid is going on and it's going in the oven.
Not all the way on.
Yes, it is.
There we go.
And it goes. We are right at 2 hours, maybe a little bit over, so let's check this thing. I did check it at an hour and 15. It was already smelling really, really good, but it was not tender yet, and we want it to be fork tender. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that. Let's do some checking. What? Oh. Yeah, you messed up the audio. We can do that again.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good. So as Chef Albert says, you want it to be fork tender. Let's grab a little piece off right here. I think it might be fairly easy. Got a little bit of a sweet taste to it. Cheese really tender, so yeah, I'm gonna say it's probably done. Yeah, we're gonna give this a go and let's see what happens. Let's move over to the cutting board. You've got to try some of this, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try it. It's my bear.
Well, if you don't, I guess it's more for me, so I don't know what I'm complaining about. So here we go. I mean, literally took us maybe 30 minutes to prep all together. Threw it in the oven for 2 hours and really forgot about it. We went and got some work done and the house started smelling really good. And now I get to eat before noon. Let's try a quick bite here. And as always, you guys should try it. Really, really tender. Black bear gets a bad rap. It's honestly one of my all-time favorite meats that we go and hunt. It is outstanding. You just have to prepare it properly, take care of it out in the field, and you will have an outstanding protein to put in your freezer. This is so good that it's actually even Deborah approved, who is sometimes not as easy to please. Actually, she's brutally honest. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, I took her up a bite. She absolutely loved it. She liked it so much, she even got a little bit on her shirt. And actually, I've got some up here too. But you really liked it, right? It was good?
Excellent.
Yeah. So, and like I said, black bear gets a bad rap. It is good. You just have to do it right. So the way you do it right is get on FromFieldToTable.com, check it out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for sticking around.